Hello, welcome to this podcast. My name is Coach Brian, and today we are talking about raising boys. But I want to delve into self-care skills for the boy child. But before we go there, I want to give some sort of a preamble because we're going to have this discussion in the next few episodes. This podcast is suitable for families, fathers, mothers, and everyone who's raising a boy child. The whole issue of properly raising the boy child into a mature, responsible leader and a pillar of society is really predicated on family. Okay? A man's worth is developed in the family. It is expressed in the family and is valued in the family. But its impact reaches the whole community, the church, the corporate world, the political sphere, the whole world at large. That's why we say charity begins at home. When today we raise boys to be fruitful, influential, and upright, we will be guaranteeing tomorrow a society that's crime-free, corrupt-free, poverty-free. A society tomorrow that's prosperous and worthy of our efforts today. If we don't invest proficiently into raising boys well, we will be indirectly investing in crime, corruption, divorce, homosexuality, and all these vices that are aimed at destroying family. Our failure to raise boys well today is a sure way of destroying human civilization as we know it. Now, why is it important for us to pay particular attention to this issue? Why is it becoming increasingly important that families pay attention to how they raise their boy child? Let's put things into context before we go too far. Raising a child takes place in the social institution known as the family. Family is an institution that must have rules, norms, values, and guidelines. The family is critical to the normal and effective raising of children. Therefore, we need to understand from the onset that for us to raise good boys and responsible men, this will have to take place in the family setup. There are three critical elements in this case that are required for this effective parenting. And I've already started digging into the first one, which is family. That's number one, family. Family is critical. We need to create stable families that will be conducive to developing the boy child into a productive, mature, responsible, reliable member of society. It is just critical. Unstable families are more likely to produce unstable boys. So for us to see a developed nation, a crime-free society, we must build stable families. We must build stable families. There's a lot that goes into building stable families, such as family values, faith, family goals, among other things. But also we need to pay attention to the things that weaken families, such as negative media influence, as well as imported cultures that do not resonate with our cultural values. This will be a topic for another day, but suffice to say, family is only as strong as its values. Number two, fathers. We need to understand that to properly raise our boys into great men, we need to have a father figure in the family. Fatherless homes experience a significantly reduced ability to raise boys. Statistics say fatherless families are 25% more likely to raise children in poverty. Children without fathers are also 10 times more likely to abuse drugs, and over 70% of all children who abuse drugs and alcohol come from fatherless homes. I saw a study recently that said that children from fatherless homes are more likely to be poor. They are more likely to become involved in drug and alcohol abuse. They're more likely to drop out of school, more likely to suffer from mental health and emotional problems. Boys from fatherless homes are more likely to become involved in crime. And their counterparts, girls, are more likely to become pregnant during their teenage life if they come from a fatherless home. The third element that is critical to this is faith. Now, faith is an important aspect of developing boys into socially integrated individuals. Values that are drawn from faith, such as service, humility, forgiveness, sowing and reaping, wisdom, love, hope, all provide spiritual, emotional, and social tools that help develop desirable characters in the young men that we are raising. To raise great men out of these boys, we need family, we need fathers, and we need faith. Now, let's talk about the self-care skills for the boy child. In future episodes, we're going to discuss a lot more life skills for the boy child. At the end of this series, we will give you a parenting curriculum for your boy child to ensure that your boy child is equipped to succeed in today's world. Now, these basic self-care life skills are basically hygiene skills. Hygiene is a foundational self-care skill. By developing these skills, we are essentially also helping to shape aspects of the boy's character and personality. So, number one, teach boys to bath at least twice a day. Simple, isn't it? I don't know how many of you have gotten onto public transport and then a young man enters the bus and you can't even breathe properly because he's smelling like socks that have been worn for weeks. I've seen that. Most boys think they have to wait until they're extremely dirty before they are needing a bath. And because often than not, boys are extremely active. They tend to sweat a lot, and that can become a problem. As a rule, encourage boys to bath before leaving home and to bath before going into bed. Once this is built in as a habit, it becomes a good foundation for other hygiene basics. Simple but critical. When you have a boy in the house and you notice that he's smelling sweaty, let him understand how unpleasant it is to be near him in that state and why he needs to take action immediately to change that situation. Don't let it slide. Talk about it. Probably something a lot of families practiced with kids below the age of 10 and they stop once the children are in their teens is bathing before settling in for the evening. Don't allow your boys to settle in the evening without taking a refreshing shower. Make it a rule, something like no one watches TV without bathing. Simple as that. Okay, so number two is teach boys dental hygiene. Bad breath is a serious social disorder. One of the pillars of self-care that we must inculcate in children is dental hygiene. Dental hygiene is as simple as brushing teeth after you wake up in the morning, before you go to sleep in the evening, and after every meal. No one finds a person with bad breath to be good company. Even when you are speaking sweet words, if your breath is bad, you are becoming an irritation to those who are near you. So, bad breath will eventually result in people shunning away from you. When things begin to happen like this, it will affect your self-confidence and your self-esteem. Eventually, you become resentful and success becomes elusive in such situations because you're building negativity around you just because of your bad breath. So, brushing your teeth may seem like a small issue, but bad breath can have far and deep-reaching consequences. So, teach your boys to brush their teeth. Number three, teach boys to practice general cleanliness. The Bible says cleanliness is next to godliness. I have always said personally, I'm turned on by cleanliness and I'm turned off by dirt. Let me point out three aspects of general cleanliness that we must develop in the boy child. One, wear clean clothing. Wear clean clothing. This includes underwear and socks. You see, if you develop this mindset into a child, this single lesson goes to sharpen not only his behavior, but his expectations out of life and his performance in life. But by developing a mindset of cleanliness, you are essentially raising the bar in the boy's mind, and he is more likely to have high goals and achieve them with this kind of foundation. Teach boys to wash their clothes and to wear only clean clothes, especially underwear and socks. You will thank me later. Number three, basic grooming. This includes clipping nails, combing hair, and getting a haircut. Again, these are habits that give boys an advantage in society. If your boy with clipped nails, clean clothes, clean breath, is not smelling sweaty, stands right next to his age mate with long nails and dirty clothes and sweaty with bad breath, people will immediately decide that your child is standing next to a criminal or a child of a criminal. So, basic grooming is a minimum standard. I remember a time when I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of clothes and life was tough, but I always had draw on and a nail cutter and a clean shirt. So teach your boys to uphold the minimum standards because it speaks to their self-image. Also, teach them to keep their space clean. I have found that people who keep their space clean are more focused, more committed, and often are promising in life. You know, you cannot suddenly become responsible the day success is poured into your lap. Responsibility is developed over a long period of time through the basic things of life, such as the space that you're currently in now. Help the boy child to take responsibility for his space and to ensure that it is clean. There is no litter. His bed is done up. His shoes are clean. His table is organized. His wardrobe is orderly. The idea is to get practical with the boy child, working through these self-care skills as though it is a curriculum. Whilst they pick up these skills, the process tends to produce more positive effects. Let me end by saying this to you, especially young men. If you want to succeed in life and you want to date the girl of your dreams, or you want to fulfill the goals of your life, you want to be the person or like the person that you so admire, the place to start is with self-care skills. If you look after yourself well, you are likely to look after another person well. Okay? That's just how it works. Charity begins at home. Ensure that you practice strong personal hygiene and personal grooming, because then you won't have your smelly armpits, bad breath, or unkept looks to stand in your way. Right? Right. That's it for me for this episode. I hope you have learned one or two things from this podcast, and if you have, please subscribe, click the like button, and share this video with as many people as possible. In the next episode, I will talk about more skills every boy child must be taught. Please feel free to contact me further via WhatsApp on 0979 360027 or visit my website www.incentives.tv. Right, for now, it's goodbye and press replay.